So we have us rustling the paperwork behind the scenes as we're putting the stage together, right? All right. Right back. Yeah. Okay, so I've got my stick in the corner there. So if we get to our coding kata, we can do a little ninja. Yes, it takes its sweet time, that's for sure. So let's see. My son is streaming on there, and he's trying to get his average viewers up. So I'm watching that one. Not really. I'm doing like I do you most of the time. Just turn it on, show your support, then go eat. But you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. So let's see. If I go to our Twitch right now, if I go to the freeze team, it should be. Okay, I think I'm streaming my son right now, because how does it determine who you stream? When you go live, you're above him on the priority list. So will it kick his stream and switch? We'll test that theory in a second. And let's see, Snowfrog Dev. In your scene, it should have the. Oh, I don't know if you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it says still hosting him, and then you're live, so it should be switching to you. It makes sense if I'm going to be on your show that I would host you, right? that makes sense. Well, I'm not helping him any by hosting him much. I'm helping him by viewing him. Can I talk for a sec? Yeah, I can normally talk too much than a sec, but channels and video. Where the heck is that? Who we stream, who we share. Where is that thing? I looked for this 100 times. So I've got a new rule for UI design. If you have more than 5 commands in your app, you need to have a search box for your commands. Just like VS Code has a F1, type in anything you want. All your Streamlabs, for example, they say go to the settings. I'm like, which one of the 6 places I can get to settings do I actually change that thing? Yeah, it's quite annoying. All right, so I can't find channels you can manage as an editor, people who can stream for your channel, hosting priority. Here we go, host list. And all the coders are top, and then my son's gamer channel is at the bottom. And yet, yeah, it doesn't quit, so he leaves. Well, don't they understand how long kids play video games? That could be 3 days. Yeah, so anyway. I've been coding all day, baby. Let's. Yeah, I've been coding all day. I actually solved a few problems, and uh, yeah, so right. Yep, I do. Nope. Check if we can find a number one higher. Okay. Yep. Mhm. Right. So we maintain a higher and a lower and look for an exact three. And then when we're done with those three, then we choose which one which one wins. Yeah, but that's got to extend all the way out before you choose. You can't choose the left digit until you've gotten all the way to the end. Yeah, because yeah, I was yeah. Yeah. There's probably there's probably some outs that we could short circuit, right? Yes. Well, these test cases are. Well, I do think that we have to maintain three different variables: the high, a low, and a exact. Right? I do agree with that. Uh, right. But well, the test case. Okay, we haven't thrown that in our channel yet, right? The test case back in. Oh, you did. Okay, good. So I mean the coding game actual challenge. Correct. That one's not passing. But if I looked through the test cases last night, right after right after we quit. Let me click on solve it in here so I can get to the test cases. But they give you a little help. See, we're down here. The name of the test case says longest common prefix is not always right. And that's like, I looked at that and I was like, oh crap. Like, yeah, it's not. So that's why I say I think we have to recurse all the way to the end to maintain these before we can pick anything. All right, well, I'm going to have to take this call real quick, Phil. I'll come right back. Hello. Sorry about that. Wife doesn't realize it's tonight's we're streaming, so she's like, "Do you want to eat or not?" Like, too late. The ship is sailed. She's on her way home from work. So yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. She's on her way home from work. So she, so we added that last else clause, which is where where the rubber meets the road, right? So the result array at the beginning up there on line 6 is not initialized to nothing. So all that code that's down there has to go inside that else clause, right? But we just hadn't got to it yet, right? We were thinking about, well, how are we going to do this? So if we get rid of, we did the join at the end. Yes, this is great. Shows you how you context switch, just like the fourth context. What the heck was I doing? So I think if we comment out lines 23, 24, and 26, those first two test cases still run, do they? I, I, I think 23 and 24 maybe we're actually trying to remove leading zeros. So run it without those lines, and then yeah, like that. Run it. I mean, they're free to run, right? The test cases. So, oh, we've got it down there in the bottom. So you can assign it to empty string at the top on line 6. Or put it result array is empty inside of the else statement so that it, yeah, just as a default, right? I can't. Oh, I need to pull up the. I need to pull up the thing here. Yep. Yep. Well, so the else statement. Yeah, the else statement is what we added, basically. Well, we also have an else if, and it wasn't an if before. Right, we only checked greater than, and then we treated. Yeah, right. Just put the result array inside that last else so that it's always assigned, and then set it to null or empty or whatever. We don't care. And then you won't get that. You won't get that. You won't get that message, right? Oh, that's right. I can type, can I? Right. So if we just set result array, if it let me do it, equals this, then it won't complain, right? It'll fail for. No, I think that line 24 is just removing leading zeros, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So I think it'll fail the same spot that we were failing on that test case down there at the bottom. Oh, I have. No, 1, 2, 3. Exact solution is the. Yeah, that one should fail. The 1, 2, 3 should fail. The third test should fail, and. Yeah, same number of digits, solution less than in. Test 5. Yeah, so exact solution is going to be failing also, I think. Right. Right. It did work, but not because. Yeah. Right. So the inside that else is the actual where the problems begin, right? And you want to use your new theory that you've got down there. Yeah. I'm going to enjoy watching you code a little bit. I've been coding all day. I try not to fall asleep. I think we were just going to sort that in array so that we could have, so it would make it easier to find, build a bigger number or smaller number was all we were doing. But I don't know if we'd need it or not. There. Now, Speaking of what you said before, though, is we should check stuff into Git. So maybe now's a good time to do a commit. And say, I I can't see what by default. What? Oh no. Oh, cool. For the live share, it adds that in. Yeah, I read that. I read that someplace, but I'd never actually seen it. Yeah, I'd read it that they were adding that for the streamer, or for the not for the streamers, but for the pair programming, and it automatically put it in. Yep. Yeah, for all of our followers who are following along right now, they can download it and see where we're at. Wait, so the includes n of 0 would mean a match, right? Okay, wait. What? Why 5? The n starts with a 4. Wait. You're saying so you're okay, but your code says does it include n0? So that's going to be n of 0 at this point is a 4. Okay, but why would this hold true? Why would this hold true with +1 or +2 or +3? Right? I'm just saying, yeah, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if it's +1 bigger. It could be a 6 too. It'd still be closer than if the bottom one was a 1. So I'm saying the +1 is not. Yeah, I want to build the. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. The next. I don't care which one it is. Okay, so I think you're looking at our out on how we can stop pushing things out, right? That if it's too big, it could be an 8. So, oh, so we have over, under, and equal are the three values that we have, right? If you sort them, then we're going to know. Yeah, but if you sort them, then you're going to know. You don't have to look for each one each time, right? It's going to say the index of whatever ones, like we did the little find. The find index of x greater than does not equal 0 would be the find greater than the one that we're looking at, right? We could do that in one go. Uh-huh. Well, we find the index where it crosses over, and you take the one behind that, right? Yeah, and the other way around for the other side, I think. I think we could sort that like right at the beginning, right? Just sort the thing and leave it from the get-go. Result array is the one we want to sort, right? Well, only because we did that to satisfy the test that we would run. So we don't. That line 17 is just a shut up TypeScript complaining that I don't have it assigned when I'm down at the bottom. Right, that's all it was. But we really want it. We really want it back to just like you did on 8 and 9, line 8 and 9. Oh, I can click around and you can see where I'm at, right? Like we did here. Right, right. I think, yeah, whichever one. I think the first one is ascending, um, and I think you could just move that out, right? Move that out to the top, and then only resort for the line 10. Only resort there, and then we don't have to deal with. Yeah, yeah, because it's already there, and then the one down on the line 12 is delete too. No, because we need to not go into the other else.
This is a reminder.
Give the dog a pill. How many things interrupt our streams from my noisemakers? Alexa, stop. I said, Alexa, stop. There, she learned that time. You could combine those two, but let's leave it like that for now. It shows the intent. Yeah. Okay, now run it again and let's see. We should still have the same results, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it was. It's like, what? What? So stupid thing. That takes a function. Current. For now, yeah. Pull it out later. Oh, it's your result array. High. What are we gonna say? Higher and lower, and then same, right? Next one, yeah. If we're looking for the highest one, right? The next lower one. Yeah. The scary thing about these is when if you're just thinking totally wrong, you just throw it all away. Right? I say, okay, so now what did we do? We took the next higher index. So on that seam thing that we did, I had make the biggest number method. So just make a method that says, well, why do we care? If it's bigger, don't we want the next, based on your logic, don't we want the next higher number, the closest number we can get to this particular number we have? Wait, doesn't that just reproduce the same problem? Aren't we just asking the same question over again? Yeah. Right. So get smallest number. One four four. Yeah. Right. 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 Why? As long as it's not first position. Right. I think so. Right. Drop. Yeah. Yeah. So if we just made a method called get smallest number, get biggest number, and we pass in the slice of the thing that we want, would sort of satisfy those. I'm watching today. I've done my live coding. I'm tired. I'm just saying just name the method. I don't even care about if the function exists, right? Yeah. Actually, we can hard code it. Right. Right. We need to pass in the data, the array. Well, we need to take the number out that we're going to make the first digit, and then we need to pass in the array of everything that's left minus that number. Well, we have to remove the item that we found. So unless we're going to let it just do the whole thing, which you are. Okay, you're passing in the n0 and the result array. Okay, fine. Yeah. And he's going to give us back, you didn't type the next higher number, but it's actually a string. Right? The return type on that is actually a string. I think then IntelliSense will let you generate the function call. Won't it? Control dot in Visual Studio I know would, but yeah, there's no help on it. Yeah, Visual Studio, we don't even generate. We could just say, generate this method for me. Nice. And in this case, it does not extract. You want to implement because it's going to say that get lower doesn't exist. Yeah, it's just a string. I want it to be a character. It's a string. Yeah. Yeah. String. Yes, return a string. We don't have to. We don't have to modify the result array. We could just return. But why is it complaining about the string type? Oh, it's just saying nothing's returned yet. That's why. Yeah. Yes, so we're really just removing the, yeah, that's the starting point. Find the index of that and take it out of the result array. Right, we remove it from the result array, but we want to make sure that this result array, is it a copy or not? Yeah, but do we care? Do we want? Right. We don't want to modify it. Yep. Yeah, well, see, yeah, I want to make a copy of the result array that's passed in. How do we do that in JavaScript? Like on C#, I can say an enumerable to list. Yeah, it returns a new one then, right? So we do that. We do that on the incoming. Okay. Yeah, we want to pass by value. Do it in the function. Uh, yeah. So we pass that result array in, but we don't really use it. We just make a copy right away and then use everything else. JavaScript copy array. Old way. Oh yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, so the ES6 way, yeah, I didn't think about that. You could use deconstruction, right? So just build a new array and use the dot dot dot, which we could do that in we could do that in TypeScript. Yeah. That works. Okay, so now we find which one we want. You still need to keep that. Instead of just finding it right there, you need to do the dot 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 up front and then do find after, because we're going to use that new deconstructed thing. Okay. But I'm saying you need here. Let me drive for 2 seconds. You need this guy. out into something. Yeah. What do we want to call it? Working array? I don't know. Equals this guy. Right. That way we can take it out. Yeah. Fluent syntax where you just one after another. Chain, a train. Yeah. But there's a downside to those. When you go to debug it, what was the value at this spot? Oh, I don't know. Right? It's like, what am I inspecting? How do I inspect this? So you actually, though, if you're really crazy about it, then what you put inside your chain is a console.log inside the chain to show what the value was in that spot. But it's old school people just assign a variable. I think so, yeah. Yep. Start index. Really, it's just the start of this thing, right? How we're calculating it, but it right, but it's where we're going to start this result's going to start with that thing. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing there too, yeah. Naming things is hard. I mean, get the value. Yes, as long as we I think you've answered my question already. Just because it's easier to see the intent. I could do it in a nice chain, but yep, yep. For get highest number, yep. I think our get lowest number is almost exactly the same. Let me Right. Right. And I would copy and paste and do it, but we could actually make it one method and then pass in which way we wanted to do. But who cares for now? Yeah. Yeah. I'm saying we probably make it a get number higher and lower. We could pass in as a function as a parameter, but who cares? I just say leave them two. It's more explicit for now. We're gonna optimize for speed later. Episode 27. I think so. We're dealing with start number is actually a string. I was going to say push it onto the array, but we're not actually having an array. We just have string at this point. So the join accomplishes that. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Actually, one up, why put it in Cocoa? Why don't you just write a jest test for it? Because Cocoa is going to be, or whatever we call that thing, is just going to be wasted, right? Whereas the jest test could survive. Yeah, keep our tests, our intermediate tests from the main test. Yeah, another describe. Yeah. Uh, coding game tests. Yeah, good answer. Personal tests, or whatever you call it. Should be double quotes though, in types. There you go. All you do is format it, right? It changed them, didn't it? Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I just think that they defaulted it now to like the standard formatter will change them all to double quotes. A lot of the linters and crap, but your prettier solves it for you anyway. So my rule is that uh, you have a rule. That's the most important thing, so that your code's consistent within that code base, right? If I get to be the guy who's you're working in mine and use my rules, but if I'm using somebody else's code, I just don't like guessing as to what style the guy wants. So editor config is supported in Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio, and it's awesome tool. So that's like the first thing I put in mine. Here's the rules. We're going to pass in that. We're going to pass in one of those test cases. Yeah, there we go. Don't care, yeah, anyone? As long as we can determine what the answer should be. So pass into 7 and see if we get back on that M. Pass in the 7, right? And see if we get back the 4401. What doesn't matter, right? For this, we just. Okay, 4. Yeah, that's fine. Just string and split it. Just do it like we create the result already. Yeah. It's assumed it's sorted, but I don't think it would matter for our test. Capture the result. Uh-huh. Should be a 4, right? Yeah, but it starts with the number we pass in. Oh, right. The next higher, and that is the 7. Okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah, so 70114. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yep. What, the jest syntax or convention? Say to run it only. What about S? Single? Here, let's jest it. Just run one test only. It only works with what? Yep. Whatever. It takes like 2 seconds to run them all. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't exist yet. And the answer is. Oh, and it passed. And I wouldn't say these are exhaustive tests, but but they're at least good enough. Yeah, exactly. So now we need to fix our answer. We're passing in a 4, and we need to get the next lower than a 4. It's going to be a 1, right? So 17440. Yeah, not yet. Copy. Copy paste. Change the higher to 4. The sort. We wait a minute. Line. Yeah, I was gonna say. Whoa. Did you sort? So you found the index, and then you need to go the lower one. So I think you got to go back one in this case. Maybe. Well, right. So x is greater than the character that we're found on, and then we need to back one. Right. Back two, because we go back to one would be on ourself. Yeah. Wait. Is that right? Back two. Well, because our number is still in the. Well, we don't know that our number is in the array. So I think it's just back. It's back one. Yeah. Right. Right. Probably. I think no. Right. So we don't have to count for it the other way because it has to be different. It passed the test, didn't it? It passed the test. But let's see, we found the index, but we didn't sort the array that came in to our test case though. We just stuck it in there. But not not in our test case. It's our test case though. We how did we pass it? Well, we copy the array, but do we sort the array? We make it. No, we don't. We don't sort it. So it has to. It does make a difference. How did that test case pass? Is a better question. Well, change the. Yeah, the one over there. Yeah, 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 and see if that first one passes. Because the four is in it. What are the odds of that, right? I mean, where x is less than character, actually we're going the wrong way, right? You need to flip those. Nope, needs to be bigger. Right, so the bigger is going to give us the index of where it is bigger. So why wouldn't we just take that? We don't need a +1. Well, if you're saying you're looking for the index where x is bigger than the character that passed in, so that is the index of something bigger than 4. Which is even weirder. Okay, so then our screwed up, we're screwed up in our let. No, so it's ascending. We'll put a breakpoint on the dumb thing and look at the array when it's after they give it to us, right? Put a breakpoint right after the first line, and we'll see what our sort, if our sort expression is ascending or descending. God forbid they'd actually give us a sort ascending or sort descending as an actual method, right? Yeah, that would be C#. It's descending. We're using the same implementation, so yeah. Okay, so we're looking for. This is the wrong way. Yeah, so the x is smaller than the car, right? Right. So I thought you said that test passed. That confuses me. That I don't think it should have. I'm trying to look at the Twitch stream to see the answer to the problem. And I streamed Grant through the whole thing. Okay, so now I can see your screen. What's the problem? Yes, but we're looking for one that's greater than. So we shouldn't be. So look at your im right there. So we're actually should be finding the exact one that we want, right? If they're descending, so it should say I want to find the first one less than this, and take it, right? So the breakpoint on start index tells us what. I mean, we should be able to just see what his answer is, where we're screwed up here. 74410. So it should come down to, should give us a 3 back for that stupid start index, right? Step over that thing and then just get the answer. unless you want to see what's going on inside. That's the right answer, right? Start at Nexus 3, and that's in the, if you look at the result array, that is the start number is 1. Well, this is supposed to be the higher number, right? Oh, we're sort of descending. We're sort of descending. Okay, so now we did. Yeah, we took the wrong side of the. We found the right spot. We took the wrong side, right? So the find index says the first one that's less than, but we're looking for the higher one. So we for this case we need the array to be sorted ascending. If you go from the other side, uh-uh. But it starts, but but it starts. Oh, you're saying it found 4. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. So you're saying smaller than equal. If you find a 4, then go back one before. Got the 7. Yeah. 74410. Okay, so now that's passes the test then, right? But it won't let you debug and run the test. Okay. This doesn't need to be the equal and doesn't need the -1, I don't think. I think so. Why doesn't it? I thought I saw red squigglies, but maybe it just took a second to clean up. I don't know why. I don't know. Oh, yeah. And it doesn't even, yeah. Yeah. I think with the same number, we kick the can down the road, right? Right. If our current N0 or whatever it is, N0, it can if result array contains N0. includes, yeah. Yes, so do we have this in a function so we can recurse or not? And what's scaring me though is I'm worried about beginning and ends of arrays and undefines when we get to certain spots, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So recursion, the question we have with recursion is, um, how do you get out, right? You always have to. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to get to the end, right, of that array. It's going to be like there is no more, right? But yeah, I think you can extract that, right? Just extract it into a method and then call it itself, I think. No, just return the string, a resulting string, right? I think. Oh yeah, we do have result. We are messing with the result array when we get back, aren't we? Yeah, yeah. I think so. Oh, but that's a little bit weird because we were returning the string out of the get higher number and get the other number, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's just see what happens. So let's see if we can start to get the recursion to work to see if we can even see if we can test this theory that it's even going to work or not. Now you, so you're about to make the recursion call. So you're going to pass in the recursion and say what? So we've got the match. Now we have to take, and this thing is n is not. I don't like. I changed my eyes to index. I don't believe in acronyms. Yep, yep. Pete told me. He said, what he said, he goes, reading your code's a pleasure. It's like reading a book. I'm like, yeah, I know those long variable names annoy people, but I'm like, you don't really type them. You type the first couple characters, and then the editor fills it in for you. Okay, so before you go on, explain to me in words what we're doing here again. So we know that we have a match. So the number exists, right? Right? And we have to take this digit out, right? Because he can't use it anymore, right? Well, every time we call it, the thing gives us back a string. It doesn't. Yeah, what are we gonna return out of this recurse thing, right? Yeah, so we're gonna rebuild the result array. But our get higher and get lower just return strings. And that's going to be the thing that returns the answer unless it's an exact match. It's always going to be one of those two. Right? I mean, we're going to return that if the else statement on this recurse, we don't even know how to calculate the difference between the two yet because we're dealing with strings. We can't subtract them. Right? So no, they're not. You can't coerce 1,000 digits into a number. So we're gonna have to do you're gonna have to do subtraction by the old school math each place, right? And all we need to care is about which one's closer, right? So we have to do math one digit at a time on that too. That's a non-trivial, but it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like what I do on the cryptocurrency thing on big integers. I have to do the formatting by oh, this is the thousandth place, this is the 10,000th place, one digit at a time. Yeah. So anyway, let's put the else in there. That'll help me. You can't use 1,000 digits. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Big integer. I don't think so. 1,000 digits is a pretty big number. Actually, you can because Big Int does it. Actually, Big Int just does it as a string. It does it one character at a time. There's no max on the Big Int. Yeah, so we could avoid that, right? With the new Big Int. Let's. Yeah, because it does the math just like we were gonna write the expression to do it. So I forgot that existed in. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. We use it in the React app on the cryptocurrency for that purpose as well. So do the else clause on it. 29. If it doesn't include the index, then we have the answer already, right? Well, we have the answer of which is ever the closest between the actual number and the two that we have. Well, we're not done. We need to know which is it, the next higher or the next lower. Compare higher and lower to what? As we recurse down this path, it doesn't make sense, right? Because it's going to be shorter. You're going to be comparing it. You're going to be comparing a 3-digit number to a 6-digit number, right? Which doesn't make any sense. So I think we compare it to like the rest of the thing, the rest of in, right? Right, right. So but it's the splice of in, right? I think it's whatever index we are on. Right. Right. Using the index that we're on. Well, I don't know if we're going to increment index early or after, right? But yeah. Okay, so index plus 1. Yeah, that makes sense because that's in the. So split doesn't take an index? What the heck does it take? Splice? Slice? Uh, okay. You need to move. Okay. It was lag. You fixed it. So now we still got to do the else clause on the compare. Compare higher and lower to not actually in, but to what got passed in as in, right? Because in changes every time. So yes, so now it's higher compared to in. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's something missing. How do we get out? So we're passing it back, and when we're putting in the well, that we right there you're saying return recurse, but that's not accurate. We need to return. You're going to need to return recurse plus the in, right? Which is what's going to give you that building part. So it's going to be in plus recurse, or in of index plus recurse. In Well, recurse is going to return a string, and then we're going to, when we're done with the thing, we're going to turn it back into an array if we need to, I guess. N of index, so we're going to return this thing, N of index plus the recursion answer, right? I think. Uh, I'm not sure I understand either, but right? Because oh, yeah, yeah. You mean the array? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that stacks it, right? That puts the one that equaled in front again. Of course, we're probably off by one, and we're not adding the right place, and we're going to have things blow up like mad. But right, the out or the length of n is 0. Well, n gets shorter. We take a slice of it every time. So I think it's just when the length of n is 0, you're done. I think. Like I said, we're missing about a half dozen of these. I mean, look through those test cases, and there's like a whole bunch of exceptions. So this is a non-trivial, non-trivial problem. Oh, and I got word back from Kevin that the director of engineering wants to keep that problem a secret because he's going to use it for interviews, which I think is a terrible idea because he knows the answer. I think the best interview questions are when the guy doing the interview is in the same position as the person. So a coding game, has like, let's pick one out of 150 so that the interviewer wouldn't know the answer either, because that puts him in a much more empathetic position and makes the guy being interviewed much more comfortable. Yeah. It's hard the unrung bell theory, right? It's hard not to see the answer after you know the answer. What do we what do we return? The empty string, right? So the only way you get down to the n is equal to 0. The only way you get down to n equals 0 is if you have an exact match. That 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Exact match. So you're going to get to the end and say, oh, we keep finding this. We don't have a higher, we don't have a lower. We keep having a match, right? But we're done. So we return 0, and it pops all those back, and it should just. So I think it's an empty string. So if it matched all the way down, it should pop them all back. I think. I hope. I hope. Yeah, in the compare, if it ever hits the compare, we have an out. So the only way we hit the 0 is if all the way down we have the exact same number in the other side. Yeah. Yeah. So how do we turn a string into big int? Hi, Joe. All right. Sup, Joe? All right. Dev Better rocks. Yeah. So how do we convert string, Joe, into a big int? All right, JavaScript. I don't trust Joe's going to answer my question, so I'm going to the Google. Plus, Joe's probably got like a 10-second lag or something. JavaScript convert string to big int. Stack Overflow says big int pass in a string, because really a big int is a string. That's the way I think it's interpreted. I mean, I don't know how else you can do it, right? Yeah, but I think internally it would work with a number, right? But obviously it could only be so big, whereas a string is going to overflow that number. And in. Yeah, I think we could probably do this. We really only care about two answers, right? High diff and low diff, and I think you could just cast them in the calculation. But we can reuse the big int. Go ahead, keep going. Big int's fine. No, it's fine because we're going to reuse that, but I don't think it's a costly, but we're going to reuse it, so it doesn't hurt. At this point, I would definitely just do the calculation. Higher diff, right? You can do it right there in one line like you're doing. Oh crap, I'm typing someplace, I think in Joe's chat window. Higher diff equals yeah, just big int, whatever the heck we called it. Next higher number. My IntelliSense is slow. There we go. Minus big N, right? And we want, I don't want that. I want big N. And what's the math? Math, I'm guessing math.abs. This. All right, because I don't care which way, right? Oh, it's complaining. It's complaining about it. That's for sure. Okay, so then we have to pay attention to which one's higher. So if this is the higher number, then it's going to be big N. Then this is correct. All right. It's not that taxing of a thought. lower diff, and then it's going to be the other way. Big N's going to be higher, minus big int. Instead of an equal sign. Yeah, one key over. It's pretty close. And then return, or return might be a better word. Return higher diff greater than lower. I can type it faster than IntelliSense tells me answer. Higher diff greater than lower diff, question mark, one, and then if not the other. What this is going to be next higher number. If higher diff is greater than lower diff, then I want to return the lower one. Lower diff, nope. Oh, it's next lower number, and then next higher number. I think that's it. I think. What does Joe say? Does he agree? Does that look right? Oh, he said big int. Who knew? Joe's on the C# too. We have big ints in C# now as well. I don't know. We've had them for a long time, I think, but maybe not. I don't remember. But as opposed to not testing it. Okay, so in this case, it's either this or that, and we return the result of, well, the problem is we're returning a string from recurse, right? So we need to, at that top level recurse call, we need to take that value and then turn it back into a result array just to be consistent with the other stuff. We could optimize that probably a little bit, but yeah, that's the string we split. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, how many hours of Twitch can a guy do in a day? My kid's playing games all day, but I'm on like 4 hours of Twitch today, so. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this as a when the people want to do the coding interviews. I'm going to be like, there's 65 hours of me doing code challenges on Twitch. You want to see how I code? Go ahead. I'm not going to do your coding challenge for you. You can go on there and look. Good luck with that, Joe. We can't solve the stinking problem of single tasking. And it doesn't even sound like a hard problem, really. It doesn't. I think we're close now, right? I think the entire thing pretty much tests just the recurse function for that one test case that was breaking, right? Well, the interesting one's going to be, let's do the 1, 2, 3. Let's do the 1, 2, 3, because that should take us to the end and get us out of the recurse function by being length of 0. Yeah, and let's put a breakpoint in the recurse so we can see as we go down. Well, if you just ran it, if it passes, we'll just be happy. Do we have to import it or something? Is it a... That's the right syntax, isn't it? Jest doesn't support ES6. That's an ES6 feature, right? maybe it's not even ES6. Maybe it's past that. JavaScript language feature, it's at stage 3 in the TC39 process, and this is old, so, but that's not that old. This dude said, I wouldn't use BigInt primitive yet. Well, this is a coding challenge. We can use it if we want to. Well, but TypeScript to BigInt knows it, right? So that's all we care about.
Yeah, that would
Why
be
not?
That would be because my mic was muted.
So Google's going to have a hard time telling them, hey, watch that. So,
oh, good thing you were there. At least there was some audio track.
It's on, but oh God.
Joe says dork.
I have the stream running, but I didn't check the audio.
Yeah, because you hear me fine with Skype, and obviously I thought everything was okay because of that too.
Early on, right, to see if mine was coming through, but I didn't. Early when we started, I played it. I said, "Well, we always got to check." I heard myself talk. I shut it off. I'm just assuming that all audio is working. Oh crap! My bad.
Oh, it's all right. I should have. That's hilarious. Joe, man, where were you like an hour and a half ago?
Yeah. Come on, Joe. Where's the QA? Where's their quality control on Twitch? Well, so yesterday, last week's session, I had on the face scene. You know, the up close one.
Yeah.
I had it on that for like the first 40 minutes. I'm talking about the screen and everything, and I'm like, oh crap! I finally realized it. Like 40 minutes in.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh well.
Yeah. How do we automate those checks?
I know, it's just because the way I usually do it, I start the actual stream like 2 minutes early with that screen that says starting in 2 minutes, but I mute my mic, right? I don't want to have me breathing into the into the live stream during that time. So
we're gonna start.
That's right. So then sometimes I forget to unmute the mic, and that's a problem.
Yeah, so we need like an automated check that says that this thing should be on as a default, right? God dang. Oh well. So what happened to our? Oh, we're stuck in BigInt.
Oh yeah, BigInt. Why? Yeah, this is the proper syntax.
TypeScript 3.2. You're using TypeScript 3.2?
I'm using.
Above.
Does it? So where do I go to see this?
3.4 now.
3.45. Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's see.
Let's Google this.
And
BigInt TypeScript.
Support and TypeScript introduced a new primitive type called BigInt. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's lowercase. Nope. Oh, the type is lowercase. The conversion method, the function is BigInt the way we typed it.
Really?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I'm looking at the TypeScript.org docs on it, and it's you declare something of type foo : BigInt lowercase, all lowercase, and then you can set it equal to 100 by typing BigInt.
Oh, okay.
Capital.
Okay. Right.
Open print.
Well, it's just like numbers, right?
Or you can use a 100 dot or 100 followed by an n to say this is the number.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
but why doesn't it work?
Yeah, we still have the correct syntax, right? BigInt, BIG-INT. That's right. Yeah, it has to be some kind of. Oh, I know. Hold on.
TS
node
target.
TS node BigInt maybe.
ESNext. Do you have the?
Oh, it's got to be ESNext.
It says, as we mentioned, BigInt support is only available for the ESNext target.
Oh, okay.
It may not be obvious, but because BigInts have different behavior for mathematical operators like plus, minus, star, etc., providing functionality for older targets where the feature doesn't exist, like ES 2017 and below, would involve rewriting each of these operations. So he's saying, ESNext.
So switched it to ESNext, and Let's see if that works. No, it's still complaining.
You switched it. Okay, so it's just compiling it.
Oh, actually, it's
with
even
this-
it's complaining about the includes. What the heck?
But
Okay,
so
okay.
I know when I did this jest stuff, it was confusing as crap.
Is next.
Oh,
Module.
so jest is
Oh,
not
I
built.
need to add the library. Okay, pretty sure that's what it is. On top of targeting the. Let's see.
Oh, maybe so.
Or not.
Well, okay, so this is your TS config, Jason. How do you tell Jest how to build it?
Um.
Because Jest doesn't
Oh,
do
you're right.
TypeScript,
I should
right?
probably. Okay. Yeah. Because I've got like 2-level. Let me just try this first. Yes, next. See if we can run this again. Oh!
Did it clear up or not?
It cleared up, and we're also passing the test.
Oh my God!
That can't be.
Yes. So
That can't
we,
be.
we recurse through. We recurse through. Put a breakpoint on it and watch. And let's see if we should. I mean, it's only three long, right?
Where do you want that breakpoint?
Well, we want one right there at the beginning of the recurse. And then we want one on line 25 to prove that we actually come out the end. We have to come out the end or we would still be recursing, right?
Yeah.
But we could have came out the end on line 37 or 31.
So, okay, so I'll add a breakpoint. Do you see when I add breakpoints in the live share?
I do.
Oh, well, that's cool. Can you add some?
Yep.
Try it.
I probably can. If I click over here, I could probably set
Wow.
one. Yes, I can.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, when live share works, it's cool. It's doing better this time than it did yesterday.
Last time, yeah. So, okay, so I run this. Do you want another breakpoint or?
Debug, right?
Yeah.
And we should hit there. I can actually see your call stack and your locals as well.
That's amazing.
On my side. Yeah, so when it's working, it works. It's super sweet.
Huh.
Okay, so where are we at right now? We're at in. So if I hang over in length, I should see I do 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
And then that should come back in again. It should be 2, and it should come back in again, and 1, come back in 0, and we'd be 0.
Can you actually step over on your end? Like, can you control the? You can. Wow, amazing.
Yeah. Well, as long as you granted me that access, I can. Yeah. So now if we just say go, all right. So the first one's going to say it includes, right? So we didn't care. We've got a higher number, which is the 213. We've got a lower number, which came out as 132. But we could probably optimize a little bit by saying if it includes, you don't have to check these 2 other guys, right?
Yeah.
So we could move the lines 28 and 29 into the else clause, right? Because you don't really care about those unless it doesn't include it.
Right.
Yes, we could optimize a little bit there. It's trivial, but a little bit. Right, so then I just say go, and we hit there, and now we're length is equal to 2, and we just say go again, and length is equal to 1, and then go again, and it's going to hit that return variable, and it does, and then back out, pop.
Looks like it works.
Yeah, so as long as our stack can support 1,000 recursions.
Yeah, that might be. Well,
right?
We'll see. Okay, so let's move this.
We surely can. It can handle 1,000. You're not going to stack overflow with 1,000. I hope.
Yeah. we might find out. Okay, so yeah, let's run the test again. Make sure.
If they have an exact match of 1,000 long, then we should fill up that stack, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that works. So now let's open this up for all the other tests.
Yeah, see if we broke anything else. I'm sure we don't pass all because
We got one failed. One failed, which is the last. Whoa, we're adding a 4. We're adding a 4.
On.
Do you see? Oh, you don't see the terminal, do you?
No, I see you're on the Twitch session.
Okay, let me.
Can't see it. The terminal's broken between.
Okay.
On live share, but.
Joe says the challenge description is tricky to understand. Can either of you explain it in English? Yeah, you need to find a number. Hold on.
Yep,
what are we doing
find
again? What are we doing? Hold on, let me pull it up. Yeah, okay, so you're given 2 numbers, N and so Nancy, or what did we say, November and Mike.
Right.
You need to switch the digits of Mike around to get to a number that is as close as possible to November. Does that make sense?
Higher or lower, just as close as you can.
Just as close as you can. Looking at the input and output here, example will help you understand. Anyways.
Yep. So the 94754, and you've got the digits are 3841. The 94754 stays fixed, and you just try to find a number closest to that.
You got it. You got it. Good. Okay, so well, I gotta go in 3 minutes, but we've got a bug.
We've got a bug. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So we've got 447. Where's that other 4 coming from? Right.
There's a 4 coming from somewhere.
What test case? What do we name that test case? What's it called?
That is the same number of digits. Let me just zoom out. Same number of digits. Solution is smaller than n, which is the latest one we've added.
Okay.
How small am I supposed to? I can't remember this.
Same number of digits with solution less than n. So 45284. Okay, so we catch a 4, and there's 2 4s in that test case, right? And the actual number should come back 44710.
Oops.
Oh, I bet that when we exit out with a get higher number or get lower number, we've put the digit on it, and we shouldn't be putting the digit on it. So in our recurse function, in our compare,
okay,
are we removing the digit or not? So you know what I'm saying? Because we popped that in back. We popped the n back on, so we can't put the n on the answer, and we do have the n on the answer. The get higher number returns the n with it, and we don't want it to.
We don't want it to?
Well, see, the get higher number.
Yeah.
When we did the test, look at the test case for get higher number.
Okay, hold on. Get higher. Okay.
Yeah. So we pass in. 4. What number are we passing in? 4.
We pass in 4. Yeah.
Right. And we give them back. Oh, we're recursing. We're putting that. We put that 4 on, but we need to tell it that, oh, poop. You know what I'm saying? We put the 4 on top of the recursion, regardless. It's not true.
Are we talking about the recurse function or the get higher function?
Well, both. Because when we get higher function returns back the whole number, but the recurse says when we recurse in, we say pop the n that we're already on into the number. But the truth of the matter is, if recurse came back with the get higher or the get lower, not the equal, we don't want the n.
It already has the n, right. So we need to make get higher number return
No, we can't because the
can't
get higher
because
number
it,
has
yeah.
the right. We just have to be able to tell it. The recurse has to decide. So recurse needs to include the in on it or not on it,
Mm-hmm.
which stinks because that defeats that was how we were popping the stack, right? Was putting it in here. Right. So let's see.
Well, I gotta go though, so that's gonna be a problem that we're gonna have to fix another time.
So do your commit, check in, and then we have to put a comment on this line and saying.
Go ahead.
Or we can watch the video tomorrow.
No, just if you want, put the comment. That'll be helpful. I think.
Yeah. So. Returns next higher or next lower. We are still adding in index, and we shouldn't.
All right. So how do we figure out when to do it, when not to do it? That's going to be
a little trickier than in first meets the eye. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll check that in, and
Joe's going to help us. Said he's going to review the code after you check in, and maybe we can be more up to speed if I can get on for your next one.
Cool.
Right.
All right. Good. So do you want to do this again tomorrow, or?
Good golly, we're on 3 days on this problem.
I do. Well,
now,
I mean,
to make you feel even worse, if this problem was put on Elite Code Challenge, there'll be some guy who solves it in 5 minutes.
No doubt.
maybe 20. But they're ridiculously good. Yeah. So.
Okay. Anyways, I'll push that to
All right,
GitHub.
mate. I'm going to sleep.
All right.
See you, Joe.
Thanks.
Good
See you
night,
guys.
all.
Bye.
Bye.